It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and happy Easter. It is time to meet Team 291 for Press Pass. Doug Warren, he is our Detroit Lions and NFL historian. He is the host of Lions Today, weekdays from 2 to 3, just before the Drive with Jack and Tom, and Director of Sports Programming, Spotlight Radio Network. How are you, Doug?
Very good, Jack. Great to be here again, and looking forward to having Steven on for the first time.
Yeah, got a rookie in the house.
That's right. 1
week from tonight, you'll be back in that same seat, or maybe you'll be over here, but we'll be talking about how the Detroit Lions messed up another NFL draft.
We'll see. We'll see if they mess it up. I think Bob Quinn overall has done a pretty good job with the draft so far, but this is a critical one. They're going to have to nail these picks this year if they want to really jump up and actually contend and not be another 6-10 disappointment.
One thing I love about the draft, Rico Beard, it's a little bit like signing day. Everyone is optimistic. They all think they nailed it. I want to see the coach stands up and says, man, really missed on that one.
I would love to see that too. I love to see that too. That just means I guess I won't be here next week. So I want nothing to do. Doug, you can have all the time in the world. That is a sinking ship. Okay, I will not be a band member on that show.
Darian Harris will be talking about that.
There you go.
Rico Beard is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is host of the Spartan Beat weekdays from noon to 2. And what's keeping you busy these days?
Well, all of a sudden we found out that Cash is coming back. Nick Ward's leaving.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of putting who I thought was going to be the starting 5 for next year, and fists just start flying. Everybody got upset at me, and how dare you put this person? What about that person? It's like, guys, seriously. What are you complaining about? Your preseason number 1. Seriously?
Yeah.
Get a grip. Some people just like being miserable.
Also want to welcome Stephen Brooks, and he is MSU football and basketball beat writer for 24/7 Sports, Spartan Tailgate Premium Site. He is a frequent guest on The Drive with Jack and Tom. Welcome to the show.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. This is fun.
Yeah, we had a chance to travel to some Big Ten basketball destinations.
Yeah.
Started out in Columbus and didn't realize that we'd end it driving back from Minneapolis.
Yeah. So luckily we're back now. Things haven't really slowed down that much, as Rico was just saying. Got a lot going on anyway, but happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Won't be long, and we'll have another Big Ten football season.
Did you drive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Good job.
Rico's not a fan of my driving. That's all right. I'm not a fan of my driving either. Stephen Brooks is the man. We will be right back, and we're going to start with Michigan State basketball. We'll take a look at Cassius Winston's decision to come back and Nick Ward's pursuit of the NBA dream. We'll be right back with that on our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graph.
All right, stand by. 3, 2.
So much happened here, and so much is about to.
The company that we knew and loved is changing. It's time for us to build an entirely new empire.
This is incredibly dangerous.
You gotta have faith.
This is a now or never opportunity.
Hit it!
How many people really get the chance to start over again?
I hope you'll remember this incredible moment.
Witnesses this company becomes synonymous with American culture.
This show is crazy!
This is the beginning of a new era.
It's time right now to take the next step!
Let's ride this moment.
I feel so alive!
I'm gonna ask you to come and step up with us and let us walk you into the future with our brand new company.
Don't miss Daily Mail, weeknights at 6 on My 47.4.
This month, the Graph Minimum Trade event is back. The best selection of SUVs, crossovers, and trucks are all on sale this month at Graph Chevrolet in Okemos. We've got a great selection of Silverados, Colorados, Equinox, Traverse, and the all-new Blazer.
Get a 2019 Equinox front-wheel drive just $186 a month, or drive a new Traverse LS just $206 a month.
The Graf Minimum Trade Event, this month only. Find your new Chevy today at Graf Chevrolet, next to Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 105 years of automotive business, and Graf Nissan, next door on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf. You see Cassius Winston with the ball as he had it most of the season, maneuvering for a shot. Amazing how he found openings in traffic. And a pass to Matt McQuaid for a big dunk. This is the Duke game, and Cassius firing away from outside. Became a much better three-point shooter than he was in high school, and that's the vision that's so special with the pass inside to Nick Ward. Nick Ward, by the way, the career Big Ten three-point shooter, 3 for 3. Made them all.
Man.
And he's also over 60% career field goal shooter. But you're shooting high percentage shots like that, that's how it happens. Michigan State won't have that low post presence next year. And when Nick Ward was really going before the injury, he was an 18-point-a-game guy. See how that translates to the next level. Rico Tomizzo was a guest on The Drive with Jack and Tom Friday afternoon, and he talked about Cassius wanting to come back, unfinished business, wanting to chase a championship. He'll come back as a graduate student. And Nick Ward pursuing his passion for the NBA. Did they both get it right?
I think so. I think Cassius, you look at any draft board and Cassius is just not on it. He has a passion to come back and do something that Mateen Cleaves and Magic Johnson did. Yeah. He was close. He had a broken down team. It was just Cassius and 5 other players near the end. A lot of role players who stepped up and made big shots. But Cassius, I think, really wants to solidify his career. And Nick Ward, I think he made the right decision because Nick's been testing the waters for the last couple of years. Yeah. You could kind of tell he had a foot in the NBA, and that's not good. Either you're all in, you're all out. Plus, I think his stock may have gone down because Xavier Tillman may have Wally pipped him and kind of took that spot over.
Yeah. Cassius needs 102 assists to pass Mateen Cleaves and be the Big Ten's all-time leading assist man. Only 4 players in NCAA history have 1,000 assists. And Cassius Winston has a great shot. Not a good shot, a great shot to be the first player in college basketball history to have 2,000 points and 1,000 assists. Does this news, do these decisions firm up the Spartans roster, or still a chance Tom Izzo's going to add another player or players from the transfer portal?
You know what? I think it pretty much solidifies the roster, unless there's that one guy that's just really there for them to get, because you don't want to disrupt this chemistry. That's just it. These guys like each other. When you bring in a transfer, you don't know what that transfer's motive is. Maybe I got to go out there and be the man, and that throws everything off. But if he's going to go to transfer, look to Oakland University, Hills Mays. Remember him? The undersized big man? Just saying.
I would also say keep your eye on the Hauser brothers from Marquette. Now, they would be sitting out a year, but Sam Hauser and Joey Hauser, those guys are ready-made players, and they were key parts of a Marquette team that would have been probably picked in the top 5. Stephen, how will Nick Ward be remembered, Michigan State?
Yeah, probably, honestly, not as fondly as he should be, to be honest, because this year went a little sideways from an injury perspective. Like Rico was talking about, Xavier Tillman comes in and makes his big splash in his MSU career. And this is a guy who scored 13 points a game, grabbed 6 rebounds a game throughout his career, was all Big Ten fringe the last few years, third team honorable mention type of guy. one of the best low post scorers we've seen since however long you want to name. He's in that conversation.
Go back to Zach Randolph.
Yeah, and you know, he was a guy who early on people couldn't get enough of, and then, you know, as these things do, when you're in the public light for long enough, perception sort of changed a little bit. So everybody wants to see more of Xavier Tillman at the end, and not as much Nick Ward, and that's who he used to be.
I think a lot of it goes back to the fact that Cassius looked like he was all in, and Nick just never looked like he was all in as a Spartan, and fans don't like that. And I think that's probably why, as he said, he won't be looked at as fondly as he should.
What about Cassius Winston in the pantheon of point guards at Michigan State? Martin Cleaves calls it point guard heaven.
Where's he going to be remembered? So let's talk about your criteria, I guess. I mean, if you have to have a ring, then he can be no higher than 3. And I think that's probably fair, especially because of those 2 guys that he would be compared with. So I think he's no lower than 3 going into this season. Obviously, if he gets one, then maybe we're talking about number 1 or number 2. See, Magic's college career, you know, I feel like some people color that maybe haven't been around, color that a certain way because of his pro career and what he was able to do
2
there.
spectacular years, though. Doug Warren, regular season, postseason, you weren't the only one who had questions about what Michigan State could achieve. Is there any reason that with the players coming back, that this team can't match what it did last season with another Big Ten championship and maybe take it a step further in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I don't see why they can't match it because they have an all-timer in Cassius Winston. I think he's one of the top 5 players in MSU history, and I thought that even before the tournament began. With him in charge, with Josh Langford coming back, Aaron Henry another year of maturity, guys like Kith here, this team is going to be loaded.
We'll be right back with the big picture up next here on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Watch the Detroit Lions Draft Day Special Thursday night at 11:30 on Fox 47.
Savings are in full bloom at Ashley Home Store's Spring Home Event only in Lansing. Get up to 25% off for 6 years no interest financing on all patio, including outdoor dining room sets, outdoor fireplaces, patio umbrellas, patio rugs, and this amazing 4-piece outdoor sectional or this 8-piece outdoor sectional all on sale now. No credit, no problem. Put $5 down with no credit check and no purchase limit store-wide. Savings are in full bloom at the world's #1 furniture retailer, Ashley Home Store, only in Lansing.
4 years ago, they conquered the world. Now, they're back.
The United States in the World Cup. The shot! Sensational finish! It's unbelievable! They will shock the world!
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were in August for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
We're going to work. We're going to go out there and do certain situations maybe we haven't experienced or things we need to get better at. And We're going to try and take all the situations that we deal with in the game of football and rep those things in practice, so we look back and check the box and try and create some different situations that maybe we haven't seen. But I think it's important that our guys just, we have an opportunity as much as anything to watch this film and put an evaluation process. So many times in the past, spring game comes, boom, you're out, you leave recruiting, you don't get the chance to evaluate it and sit down and watch it with your team and your players. It's just sort of on to the next thing. So we've taken this opportunity to continue spring practice, so as much as anything, we can evaluate the film and look forward to the next practice and just leave it, leave that practice moving forward. So it'll be important that we just keep pushing.
Michigan State head football coach Mark D'Antonio after his 13th spring practice and 13th green-white scrimmage. Stephen Brooks, what were you most impressed by in the limited visibility we had from spring football, and what remains Michigan State's greatest concern?
Most impressive has got to be Brian Lewerke in the spring game. Like you said, we didn't get a whole lot of live football viewing other than that, and I thought his velocity was back, which we saw really dropped off near the end of last year, and he just looked like a competent quarterback, which we haven't seen in a while. So that's the biggest thing that stood out, I think, because that'll lead to the confidence getting there, his teammates' confidence in him getting back, and so that's got to be the biggest key for the offense. Greatest concern is what's right in front of him. It's the offensive line to me, because I still don't think we saw significant strides from that group. I don't think you really can until you see a real opponent who's really trying to attack your weaknesses full go. So as good as the work he looked, if he can't stay upright, if they can't get a running game to support him the way that they didn't have last year, then that's going to be the biggest concern moving forward here.
Rico, I thought Brian Lewerke looked a lot like he did in 2017 in terms of arm strength, confidence, throwing it in tight windows. The offensive line, still don't know how much of that is what they do with the lack of push, how much is the running backs and maybe not hitting the hole quite right. But they're going to have to get a better running game to get where they want to get.
Well, I think it goes back to what Steven says. It's the offensive line. Now, the thing about bad offensive lines, they often become good offensive lines. As they play together, you get the continuity, they learn each other, and you've seen it where the offensive line was the Achilles heel, and then it becomes a strength in a few years. If the line can open up holes for the running game and they can protect Lewerke, I think that this team could possibly challenge Ohio State. But it is all about the offensive line right now.
Doug Warren on a move 63 miles to the southeast, and with some projections that Michigan is the third most likely team to be in the college football playoff. The hype train is filling up fast. Is this the year that Michigan ends the 15-year drought and at least gets to Indianapolis, but maybe wins a Big Ten championship?
Probably not. There's too many questions, I think, right now. Is Josh Gaddis going to be able to totally control this offense and evolve it into the 21st century? Is Jim Harbaugh going to meddle? Can Don Brown adapt his defense? The defense, the scheme has been kind of figured out by the elite teams, and they've exploited it, Ohio State in particular. They've lost a ton of great players on that defense. They got to reload in that regard. If Gaddis is able to take Shea Patterson and those wide receivers and maximize their talent, take Ben Mason and make him the kind of player I think he can, a multidimensional player, I think they could compete and possibly get to Indianapolis. But to get back to the college football playoff, I just can't see it.
Rico, very quickly, give me your top three in each division heading into 2019.
Over in the West, I'm going to go with Northwestern to repeat. Ooh. I'm going to go with Minnesota because they're bringing them back a lot, and then Wisconsin. Over in the East, Ohio State, Michigan.
I have the same list in the East. In the West, I don't have Northwestern in my top three. Purdue Boilermakers crack the club, and now one more team that makes it to Indianapolis. There's still one big name that hasn't been there, but I think it's maybe Purdue's year. Looking forward to seeing that. We'll be right back talking NFL Draft, our Feelin' a Draft segment. Coming up next here on Press Pass.
At Menards, nobody beats our prices, so you can save updating your home's exterior. Keep your house or deck clean with Mold Armor. House or deck wash cleans mildew, mold, and algae stains. $4.98 after rebate. For an exterior paint and primer in one with extreme adhesion technology, choose Dutch Boy Max Bond. It provides superior adhesion to chalky, dirty, glossy, or previously painted surfaces. $33.98 a gallon after rebate. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you want to make watching your favorite sport even better? All you have to do is click with the new Fox Sports app. Now you can stream every game from anywhere you are. It's your personal nerve center for up-to-the-minute scores and stats. Get real-time updates on your favorite teams. Plus, the latest from MLB, college football, and the NFL. All at your fingertips. The new Fox Sports app, now with live streaming. Download it from the App Store today.
Catch Access Hollywood weeknights at 7:30 on My 47.4.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Every superhero has their kryptonite.
Gentlemen.
Girls.
Hey guys, I just got the most amazing news.
Mothers.
Mommy needs a football.
Of course.
The common cold. Rub Vicks on my chest.
You can rub your own chest.
Rub every other man on the planet, but draw the line with me.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6, 7, and 11 on Fox 47.
I feel empowered.
Who said Rashawn Gary doesn't have any passion?
That's a shame.
Who said he doesn't care?
That's a shame.
Actually, Chase Winovich, who played with a high motor, looked much more composed. That, of course, was after Michigan State's 14-10 win in 2017 in Ann Arbor. Rashawn Gary, who came in as the #1 player in the country, arguably, and top recruit, and 3 years later, Doug Warren, we're seeing that he's not in some top 20s. He's moved down the scale. Why?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I think he didn't produce at Michigan. He reminds me a lot of Malik McDowell in that regard. Coasted, took plays off. He talks way too much. So going into the NFL Combine and saying you're the best player at the Combine, I mean, just keep your mouth shut. I mean, what are you doing? And then, on top of all that, this is something that doesn't bother me personally as much, but I know it has to bother NFL teams. Him creating his own agency and starting to do that. So they're going to question his commitment to football. Is he really in it for football, or is he in it to start this agency and make more money too? I think the guy's got bust written all over him strictly as a football player. Forget about all the other stuff. I would not take him at all in the top 20, and I'm not surprised he's sliding.
And who was signed with him? Like, who?
I don't know.
I mean, is Master P not have a job anymore?
I don't have a problem. It's an interesting concept, and I think maybe the other players are gonna.
Who would sign with him?
I don't know.
Would you sign with him?
No,
I wouldn't re-up with him for a new contract and spotlight.
The guy's thinking beyond football, which I think in some ways is a good thing. But
taking a look at the Wolverines' draftable players and top prospects, there are some very good football players on this list, and Devin Bush, I think, has a chance to be a terrific linebacker. David Long at the corner. Chase Winovich is moving up the boards now, and a lot of people think that he might even sneak into the end of round 1. probably a second-day player. Rico, taking a look at that list, who has Pro Bowl written all over him, and who's going to be a bust, and that's going to be very tough, disappointing Tom Crawford as he flips from game to game looking for former Wolverines.
Pro Bowl written all over. Let me see that list again, please. Pro Bowl listed all over him.
No, you're not seeing it there. No, it's not.
David Long. I'd say David Long.
David Long
or Devin Bush.
David Long or Justin Lane. Who would you rather have?
Justin Lane.
I like both those guys.
I guess I would take Devin Bush, but I think he's pretty much his initials, so I can't give him any credit. Yeah, what the hell, David Long. There you go. I had to pick somebody.
No love for Devin Bush here. I tell you, he's a heck of a linebacker.
Good. I like him.
He said DB. That's his. Yeah. Okay.
Stephen Brooks, taking a look at the draft order here for Thursday night, the first round of the NFL draft. What about Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins? Where will he land?
I think you're looking right between 6 and 17, the two Giants picks. If he's not there, then who knows? He might want to hopefully book the hotel another night because he's probably going to be there the second day trying to figure some things out. If it's past 17, that's when you're going to really start feeling those teams getting really antsy, and whoever's not in the mix might be trying to jump up.
Can't you just say 8 to make me feel good?
We can. Hey, I can try that.
Rico really wants Dwayne Haskins in Allen Park. And
I think it'd be a smart move, but I mean, it's considered.
I can see the Patriots if he slides, and he'd have to slide away, so they might trade up
as a
for him.
successor to Tom Brady, right?
Tom Brady doesn't want any successor on that team.
What about other Big Ten players? Who else could crack that first round?
Yeah, Nick Bosa for sure. I think he's going to be a great player. Talk about Pro Bowl. I mean, I put some money on him. Probably.
Go 2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Both Iowa tight ends seem like they could be in that mix. Hawkinson and Fant, Fant. Yeah, both bring something interesting to the table. And then Gary and Bush probably about wrap up the Big Ten day one people. At least the semi-locks.
Nobody's talking about Wisconsin offensive linemen this year in the first round. It's kind of a departure.
I mean, maybe we hear Justin Lane's name called. Maybe we hear an Amani Hooker from Iowa, maybe. But those would be some real back half stretches.
I think those 5 are probably the safest 5. I can't see a 6th player. Not in the first round.
Doug, just so the Lions don't take the tight end, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So take the quarterback.
I'd rather him take a quarterback than a tight end.
We're going to talk about the Lions situation. They got some holes to fill.
Can we send Doug to the wall so he can rant?
We can just sit back and enjoy this.
I can do it in the chair.
Well, we can see what the Lions need, and there aren't enough rounds in the draft to fill all the spots. We'll be right back. Our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis. Up next, here on Press Pass.
This month, the Graf Minimum Trade event is back. The best selection of SUVs, crossovers, and trucks are all on sale this month at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos. We've got a great selection of Silverados, Colorados, Equinox, Traverse, and the all-new Blazer.
Get a 2019 Equinox front-wheel drive just $186 a month, or drive a new Traverse LS just $206 a month.
The Graf Minimum Trade event, this month only. Find your new Chevy today at Graf Chevrolet, next to Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
I need an airway.
The Resident, all new, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Wallside didn't invent the window business, though some believe we reinvented it, with the idea that the customer is everything, that windows should be custom made for each home. Service should be all about your needs, not ours, and that true success is measured in smiles, not sales. Now we're celebrating our 75th anniversary, by offering 75 months, no interest, plus half off every window. It's for a limited time. 1-800-521-7800.
Sweet, juicy flavor. Local. Organic. As one of America's largest produce buyers, Kroger gets the pick of the crop at savings we pass on to you. That's peak of the season freshness, priced right.
4,000 people in our state are missing. Their parents, grandparents, kids. Fox 47's Fox Finders is dedicated to bringing them home. Watch Fox Finders Missing Persons, Mondays on Fox 47 News.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road. Your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. You can also find Woody's at MSU's International Center and in every cafeteria and coffee shop on campus.
I think everything's logical at this point. I think when the board kind of settles here the next couple of days and we look at it and when we're picking, I think any position's up for grabs. I think there's a lot of depth at those positions. So sometimes when you're looking at the board and there might be a couple guys you like at the top at pick a position, but there's a whole group of guys kind of in that next tier that are really good players and might be better values. Maybe that's something you have to look at in terms of maybe, hey, do you wait on that and you wait to the middle rounds to grab somebody? So this year I think there's a number of positions, I'd say especially on the defensive side of the board, that are good players that could come in and help immediately, but I don't think that you really need to take them super early. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I mean, you tell me who's on the board at 8 and I'll tell you who I'm going to pick.
Lions Vice President General Manager Bob Quinn, that was Thursday, talking about the strategy and what Detroit might be looking to do. I think it's going to be edge rusher. If not, maybe they'll surprise us with the tight end. I would be stupefied, as usual, if they drafted a quarterback. Rico Beard, make your case for Dwayne Haskins to come in, be the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford, and take over in 2-3 games, maybe?
Okay, where am I? Right here? All right, here we go. You got to move on. You've got nothing from Stafford, okay? He's a good quarterback. He's never going to take the Lions to this level, a playoff level, going in there to challenge for a Super Bowl and be competitive. Here's the problem. You're seeing it now with the younger quarterbacks. You get people in free agents who say, I want to play with them. I mean, Cleveland, for God's sake, is now getting people who want to go to Cleveland. Cleveland! You know, Kansas City is going to get the same thing with Mahomes. I just think that you've reached the point of saturation with Stafford. I look at what Haskins is bringing in. He looks to be the most pro-ready quarterback. Put him in the system. He doesn't have to start from day one, but eventually let him take over at midseason, bite the bullet, come out firing next season or the season afterwards.
If they waste a number 8 pick, I'm not saying that he's not worthy of the number 8 spot, but to me, they have so many holes. This is a chance to get a guy who can strengthen your program, especially on defense.
But Jack, they never fill holes. They didn't fill holes last year, or the year before, or the year before.
They have a chance to undo the Eric Ebron mistake. Stephen, taking a look at Detroit's draft picks, first-round picks from the last 10 years. Which pick was the best, and which one is still reeking?
Yeah, the best has got to be Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he was the best at his position for a good amount of time, made them a very dominant defense when he was at his best. They were one of the best in the league at his height. I know he had some non-football headlines and whatnot, some baggage, I guess. But he was the best, absolutely was the best at his position for a long time. The worst to me is Laken Tomlinson. You're talking about 24 starts in 2 seasons. They boot him out of there. Pettigrew's probably in that discussion, but he at least hung around the league a little bit. Wasn't a great player, but he at least made a career out of it.
Tough to play tight end with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
And he couldn't catch a cold. I'll tell you, he was really tough there.
I would have said Taylor Decker.
Taylor Decker?
He actually looks
injury
like he's
prone.
Yeah, but he
was the first of the Bob Quinn first-round picks, right, Doug?
Yep.
I look at those picks and I go, yeah, they're okay. You know, maybe they're better than some of the previous Lions picks. Nothing there jumps out and tells me that Bob Quinn has the formula, the magic.
No, he's got a plan. And which is more you can say about a lot of other GMs in the past.
You believe in him, don't you?
Sort of.
You're going to vote for him for president?
No.
Let's take a look at the Lions' schedule for 2019. Doug, can the Lions start better than 1-3? And I figure that they got a great chance to win in the desert against Arizona, but then they got Chargers, Eagles, Chiefs. They'll be decided underdogs in those games, and then they go to Green Bay. Start better than 1-3, or can they finish better than 8-8?
They're staring at 1-3. I think if they could come up with a game plan to upset the Chiefs in Week 4, kind of like what they did with the Patriots last year, they'd have a chance to start out at 500. But there's so many holes on this defense, and they have questions on the offensive side of the ball. They're still revamping things now with Darrell Bevell as the new offensive coordinator. This has just got 8-8 written all over it, Jack. I don't see how this team is going to be any better, even if they have a top 10 defense. There's so many questions offensively.
Anybody think the Lions are going to be better than 8-8? I have to ask you. Forget that.
Am I ever
We'll
wrong?
come back. We'll ask this question again when Dwayne Haskins shows up in Alabama.
I would actually care about this team if they did that. I would go down and watch games. Right now, I'm only going to go see when Kansas City comes.
Yeah.
I'm there. Most exciting player in the league, and he won't be in Honolulu blue and silver.
I'm seeing 8-8 with this team. A little bit of improvement from last year, but not nearly enough. And I'm still looking at a team that could finish last in the NFC North. We'll be right back. We'll talk about the Detroit Pistons. Yes, we have to. Up next.
Savings are in full bloom at Ashley Home Store's Spring Home Event only in Lansing. Get up to 25% off for 6 years no interest financing on all patio, including outdoor dining room sets, outdoor fireplaces, patio umbrellas, patio rugs, and this amazing 4-piece outdoor sectional or this 8-piece outdoor sectional all on sale now. No credit, no problem. Put $5 down with no credit check and no purchase limit store-wide. Savings are in full bloom at the world's #1 furniture retailer, Ashley Home Store, only in Lansing.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. You can take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable. Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 47. Watch Live PD Police Patrol weeknights at 10 on My 47.4.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstore is your green and white shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Fox Monday.
How far are you willing to go to save your sister's life?
Addiction is a disease. She didn't ask for this.
Neither did you. There are only 2 episodes left until the Resident season finale. All new Resident, then.
911, what's your emergency?
Our bank just got robbed. 3 victims showing signs of possible chemical exposure.
No!
We'll have a firefighter trapped. I am gonna get you out of here.
All new 911 after the Resident, Monday on Fox.
It scared the heck out of me, but I tell you what, that young man is giving us everything he has. And, he said he was feeling good. I was concerned about his conditioning, as much time as he's missed, and you can't really simulate, 5-on-5 basketball when you're rehabbing or whatever, but I thought he came in and gave us what he could. We need every one of those 27 he gave us. But he just has a presence that we can't replace with anybody. Just his physicality in the post. when things get a little ragged, he can take it down to the post, draw two, and he did all that tonight for us.
There you see Pistons coach Dwayne Casey, and you gotta love Dwayne Casey when you see him at Little Caesars Arena. Pistons are in good hands at that position anyway. And Blake Griffin last night, a lot of people weren't sure if he was going to play, but I mean, he was diving, he was falling, he was giving everything he had, and really crushed by the outcome afterward. Stephen Brooks, when you think of the Pistons getting 27 that way, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, whose name is so long they couldn't fit it all on the scoreboard, they had to leave the last O off the scoreboard, and Andre Drummond both stinking, Bucks just had so many more answers. Eric Bledsoe penetrating, Brook Lopez outside shooting threes, and then the former Pistons, Chris Middleton and Ersan Ilyasova. Why aren't the Pistons competitive in this series?
It's a bad matchup. I mean, that's one way to put it. They're just not a great team. This really isn't a playoff caliber team that we're talking about with Detroit.
Blown out 3 times.
Yeah, badly. And you know, the big thing in this series, I think, is aside from Detroit just not being a playoff-worthy roster, is the bench production that they're not getting versus what Milwaukee is getting, the depth there. I believe you guys talked about it last week. But, you know, George Hill, Ilyasova, you just mentioned, Mirotic, Brogdon's not even playing right now, you know. So they had 3 double-figure scores off the bench yesterday, and Detroit had 1. You know, that's not the only thing. Like I said, this team really doesn't deserve, when you look at it on paper or what they've done on the court, it doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, but they're here, and it's a bad matchup.
Maybe they can get a little bit of experience. Doug Warren, the NBA is a matchups league, and the Pistons were as perfect against Toronto as they were pathetic against Milwaukee. How much did it mean that they slid from the 6th spot through 7 all the way to 8 in the final week of the season?
Well, I don't know, and in the whole scheme of things, that it meant a lot because this team's not winning a championship. How many of these guys are going to be on this team if they actually ever contend in the next 4 or 5 years? This team stinks. The owner's a moron. The best thing they have going for them is the head coach, and they kind of stumbled into that because Toronto made a mistake by getting rid of him.
Right.
So, I mean, where does this team go from here? They'd have been better off losing out, missing out on the playoffs, and at least getting into the lottery. How are they going to get rid of Andre Drummond? Reggie Jackson's 29 years old. Blake Griffin, he gives everything he's got, but he's 30. This guy's not going to be around forever either. I mean, this team is maybe in the worst shape of any team in Detroit right now, and that includes the Tigers.
Rico, they cannot get free agents.
No, they can't. But for a second, I thought we were talking about the Lions. Like, oh, it's business.
Hey, man.
But no, you can't. Detroit's not a destination town. You don't have that player that people want to play with.
That's why they need to tank.
And that's why. The only way you're going to get talent into Detroit is you're going to have to draft them. No one wants to come to Detroit. You don't have the next superstar. People are going to go play for Milwaukee because they want to play with Giannis. Who wants to play with Drummond? You got Blake, but Blake doesn't want to be here. Blake's just cashing paychecks.
All right, we're almost to the point where you start to care about pro basketball. Usually it gets to about the conference finals,
right?
And you warm up to it, all right? Let's take a look at all the first-round series that we have so far. And is there anything that surprised you? And give us a 5 through 8 seed, a team that was not expected to win the first round, that could maybe be a contender in the second round.
The biggest thing that surprised me, the Warriors did not sweep. I think they just kind of fell asleep. And Steve Kerr had to love it because he was like, guys, there you go. You're not that good. It's not Washington Generals in front of their jersey. It says Clippers. The biggest surprise, I guess the only one would be the Spurs. The Spurs and the Nuggets is very competitive. Yeah. So the Spurs could pull this thing off. I thought Denver was going to do it, but Denver hasn't been that great in the playoffs as of late. But other than that, no, it's pretty much going as is. I mean,
Tom Izzo will be there Tuesday in Denver to see Gary Harris and Bryn Forbes.
Yeah, and then Silver could just really call the Pistons series. I mean, just save us all the embarrassment. Do we really need to go down there Monday night to watch this game? It's over. So
I was amazed last night. I was listening to different things on the way back from Little Caesars Arena, and James Harden missed his first 15 shots. 15 shots he missed. And then he just started going to the foul line. And the next thing you know, Houston is there, and I think Houston's going to give Golden State a real run in the second round of this.
I think that could be the finals, if you really want to say it. I think those are the two best teams.
It really was last year.
Yeah.
Chris Paul hadn't been hurt.
Right.
You never know what
No
would have
DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah.
How was that arena last night, by the way?
It was good. It was full and it was lively and everything except the home team. We'll be right back in our Take It to the Bank segment. Up next, brought by Dark Bank.
When Gotham needs me, I will return.
I'm the Riddler. Gotham will remember that. This begins and ends with you and me! Do not say his name to Jeremiah Valeska!
Know you're here. Show yourself.
I'm not your enemy.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
This month, the Graf Minimum Trade event is back. The best selection of SUVs, crossovers, and trucks are all on sale this month at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos. We've got a great selection of Silverados, Colorados, Equinox, Traverse, and the all-new Blazer.
Get a 2019 Equinox front-wheel drive just $186 a month, or drive a new Traverse LS just $206 a month.
The Graf Minimum Trade event, this month only. Find your new Chevy today at Graf Chevrolet, next to Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dark Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holt, and South Lansing. Grand Ledge and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dark Bank for what matters most.
The 1-2. Swing a soft ground ball to second base. Down to Anita fielded Harrison. Easy flip to Goodrum. Off grounds out. 1 up and 1 down in the 9th inning. On the way. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Leonis Martin, the last hope for the Indians. First pitch, ground ball softly up the middle. Fielded by Hines, second by Mercer. Throws to first. Got him. Tigers win.
Curveball popped up. Right side. Goodrum makes the grab. Shane Green is 9 for 9 in save situations.
There you see Shane Green, and you got the play-by-play from Dan Dickerson early on. And you got the TV voice, the new TV voice.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun watching that all year long. But Shane Green is as perfect as you can be, now 10 for 10 after the save today. Doug Warren, one of our most loyal viewers, Fred Thompson, said 81 and 81. They're right on pace at 10 and 10. Yep. It's a long way from your 60 and 102 projection.
Right.
As you look at this team, what would constitute a successful season for the Motor City Kitties?
Well, I think 500 would be considered successful if Miggy Cabrera can stay healthy If Josh Harrison can get off his, he's in a kind of a slump right now. He's thinking about moving him out of the leadoff spot. They need to get him back on track. You know, one of the guys I really like watching on this team is Nico Goodrum. He's playing some first base. He's kind of a utility guy, but an energy guy too. But I think 3-7 over the last 10 games is kind of, I think, where this team is going to, you know, basically fill out the rest of the year. I don't think they're going to be 81-81. I just don't see the kind of talent that this team needs to get to that mark. And if Nick Castellanos, who just fired his agent, gets traded, then, you know, all bets are off. The Tigers are cashing in the season, and I'll be shocked if he's not traded sometime in July.
Going to be a really tough end of the season for Shep and Gibby. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, it's going to be hard. They're going to be coming up with a lot of Gibby stories of back in the day. What was it like? Because it's just not a good team. But the thing is, we all knew it wasn't a good team. They gave us a little bit of hope in April, but you're only as good as you are, and they're not 81-81. No.
No one at this point has had the start that Shane Green has had, saving every one of his team's 10 victories. What can you take to the bank about the rest of his season, and will he finish it as a Detroit Tiger?
I think he'll end up being probably in the top 3 in saves for the year, but he won't be doing it for the Tigers. They're going to have to make a tough choice, and probably around June, they're going to bite the bullet and realize we're not that good. He's going to be their most valuable commodity that maybe you can get back more pieces. I don't see him as a Tiger by the end of the year.
There's another guy they got to trade. If you're rebuilding, you got to trade these guys.
Yeah. Stephen Brooks, Tigers are 3rd in the American League Central. How long can they stay relevant and remotely interesting without a wholesale infusion of talent from the farm system?
I would say as long as it takes everybody to get down to Comerica, get your Coney pizza one time for the summer, check that off the list, and move on, go out to the lake. I think once everybody gets their time at the ballpark, whatever you want to do, bring the kids, have a beer, do all that, you get that out of your system, you realize the product is substandard by around mid-June, late June, like Rico was saying, then head up to the lake house for the rest of the summer. Don't worry about it.
Get ready for football, right? Watch Dwayne Haskins with the Lions. Not. All right, we will be back in just a couple of minutes in our Cool and Smooth segment, and we'll be talking about all of our weekly awards, our Player of the Week, Play of the Week, Game of the Week, Team of the Week, all coming up next here on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin to the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Ride with Chicago PD, weekdays at noon on My 47.4.
At Menards, nobody beats our prices on your home improvement projects. Indoor-outdoor carpet is a durable option for decks, porches, and sunrooms. Status is 33 cents a square foot. Grassland synthetic turf carpet is 39 cents a square foot. All stock decorative motion lights are on sale. This Brookline 2 features Dual-Lux technology going from low to high illumination when motion's detected. $29.99. This Treehouse motion light is $39.99 after rebate. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by all 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's Welcome to Delicious.
Thank you. I really appreciate you all turning out this afternoon for our press conference here. I would like to start by saying, one, I'm extremely excited to be back in Detroit with the Red Wings. This city, Red Wing fans, the state of Michigan were incredibly supportive of me throughout the ups and downs of my playing career. I am very excited to return to the organization and join the Red Wings again, and with our goal of getting the team back in contention for Stanley Cups and the championships that is expected and has come to be expected here in Detroit.
Steve Yzerman, the prodigal son, he's home, and Red Wings fans are deliriously happy. 23 seasons with number 19 and the C. Now they're going to sell those jerseys. They're going to have the GM over the other breastplate.
Sure.
All right, Team 291. Who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week is a lot of NBA action that went on in the playoffs, but call me a homer. I think the biggest play of the week happened when Cassius Winston made the decision to come back. That was the play of the week. A little off the charts. But him coming back solidified Michigan State as a legitimate champion in basketball next season. Without Cassius, I think this thing kind of falls apart because now you got to kind of start over with Cassius. You're probably preseason number one.
There goes your phone again. It's blowing up right now. A lot of Michigan fans are going to be hitting you.
Tom Crawford's not here. You a big homer. Whatever, Tom. Go to bed, Tom. It's
Stephen Brooks. What about our game of the week?
You got to go all the way back to Monday, but you're probably still thinking about it if you caught it live. It was the Warriors-Clippers Game 2 of their first-round series. Their Golden State 31-point lead in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Boom, goes away, 15.9 seconds left. Clippers end up winning it. So 31 points is the comeback in the second half we're talking about, a playoff basketball against the Warriors.
Turned it off.
So
I
turned it off. I went to bed.
I switched to hockey. I said, you know what? I know I'm going to see compelling game here, and I did. I saw an overtime game, but never thought I would see that.
Against that team, yeah. So shout out to LA's other team.
Doug Warren, what about our team of the week? What do you have?
Team of the week in a year where the Detroit sports fans don't have a heck of a lot to cheer about. They got a little bit of something to cheer about, as you saw at the beginning of the segment. The Detroit Red Wings bringing back Steve Yzerman, something a lot of people kind of wondered if it was going to happen as much as a year ago.
Yeah.
Didn't know if he was going to leave Tampa Bay. Why would he want to leave Tampa Bay? Well, it turns out he did, and now he's back in Detroit, and a guy who has a tremendous track record not only as a player but as a general manager with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now he's going to try to bring that back here to Detroit. So the Red Wings, my team of the week.
And Steve Yzerman's family never moved.
Right.
They stayed here. And when he resigned as team president there, it was a consultant. Yzerman was back here. I mean, you had to see the writing on the wall here. The only thing was, would he leave and go somewhere else? Right. Now the question is, will Ken Holland stick around?
Yeah, that and the pressure. I mean, think about it. Alan Trammell took over as manager, didn't work out too well. Joe Dumars did win, but then he went out of town unceremoniously. What happens now? Whenever the hero comes back, doesn't always end well in Detroit.
No, it hasn't. And haven't had a Lions former player since Joe Schmidt come back and do that right. And he might have been as good a coach as the Lions have had in the last
5 decades.
5 decades.
Yeah.
Player of the week is you, Red Wings fan. This is your chance. This is what you've dreamed of. Now you'll be able to watch the Red Wings, and even if they lose, you can say, Stevie Y will take care of it. His talent coming on the way. It didn't work for him right away either. He had to wait a long time before he won the first of those 3 cups as a player. At least the morale in the organization, you know, is good. I want to thank Doug Warren. You can hear him on Lions Today, weekdays from 2 to 3, right after Rico Beard, and Spartan Beat, noon to 2. Stephen Brooks, also from 24/7 Sports, Spartan Tailgate Premium site. Happy Easter, everyone. We'll see you next week.